So normally I don't really like to do these sort of, well, I guess all my opinion videos are reaction videos anyway. Doesn't matter. So these are the new Warhammer 40,000 codices that are coming out. And honestly, I'm not really surprised what got released. We have everything that's some variety of Space Marine. It's kind of nice that the Death Guard and Chaos faction are getting a codex. I have to give them a little credit there, given that the Chaos legions haven't really been properly done since uh, third edition, 3.5. Uh, but this is what we have to look forward to. It's more Space Marines, more Space Marines, more Space Marines. And I started as a Space Marine player, so I don't hate the faction. I enjoy the Horus Heresy books. I like a lot of the Space Marine chapters, but the simple fact of the matter is the game has just become so oversaturated with Space Marine factions and releases that it's ridiculous. I mean, look at this. There's really not much more to say. I mean, at some level, it just shows that Games Workshop is committed to this, and from what I'm speculating based on their actions, uh, they think that if they don't, Space Marines sell the most, probably because they're the faction that gets the most support. But then they don't seem to they seem to think that if maybe they think that if they improve Xenos factions, then that'll mean less people to buy Space Marines instead of what would actually happen, which is you would have more people playing the game because different factions appeal to different types of people and different types of players that want to try different play styles. So they don't seem to understand that. Instead, they just go all in with these constant Space Marine releases, and it's just sad. And it just shows that it also shows, well, even this copy from the from this is taken from the Games Workshop video from today, I think. Um, uh, like it's clear. I mean, the subtext of this is pretty clear. Space Marines are the good guy faction that are the mascots, which they always were. I mean, it's they always kind of were. But uh, this jokey like, oh, you know, haha, Space Marines are winners, and you get the Death Guard that are heretics, whatever. I guess my point is, it, I hope it's not just my imagination. It seems like the Space Marines went from being the mascots, but were one of many factions, to being the protagonists. There is a difference where everything is just about Space Marines, and they've always been probably the most popular. But still, I mean, this is just out of balance, totally out of balance now, where everything is going to be Marine on Marine. That's no fun. I don't want to play that. If I was a Marine player, I would want tougher Xenos or better Chaos, which maybe they'll do with this new Death Guard thing. But you have to have an opposing force, because unless you're one of these tournament power gamers, I mean, it's just like, what's the point of playing this if everyone's some Imperium faction and Space Marines, which in the books aren't even that numerous. They're kind of rare. I mean, this is just ridiculous. And, since I like to offer positive sort of solutions, I mean, I can't enact this because I'm just a fan and a consumer, but like, okay, here's what I would do. Like in one of my previous videos, at the beginning of each new edition of the game, you go in, you look at, you come up with baselines for every single type of unit, and then you plan every codex at the same time. Now, maybe they do that and they just don't do a good job of it. But when you look at the different armies as different aspects of the same system, then that would give real balance because then you could look at things side by side and say, okay, well, Space Marines have these strengths and these weaknesses, but then uh, this other faction, whoever it may be, Eldar, Tau, Orcs, have these strengths, have those weaknesses as strengths, and those strengths as weaknesses, or vice versa. I mean, it might not really work because Marines are pretty versatile, but the point stands. Just looking at things side by side, and there's plenty of armies that need new kits. I mean, they've released so much Primaris stuff, and um, have there even been any new Tau kits or any new Eldar have gotten some stuff, but not very much. A lot of the Orc range is very old, and now many of those models have held up, but it's just the principle that any new release effort goes into Space Marines for 40K. It's and unlike other people in this hobby, I'm not just a 40K player. There's plenty of other game systems I can go play and enjoy, but I still have a sentimental attachment to Warhammer because it's the thing that got me into this hobby, into the hobby of wargaming in general. And it's just gets worse every year. Um, I enjoy this new edition, the core rules. I enjoy painting the models, but this just the way they do these releases, it's just not very good. And you know, and this just doesn't inspire a lot of confidence. So, you know, and I know if I get, if I don't get comments on videos, but if I did, um, someone could say, well, they started with the Necrons codex. Fine, okay, they did the Necrons, great, but there's a broader point of a pattern of behavior with Games Workshop of not caring about the Xenos factions in 40K. Uh, just not a priority. And it's really sad because there's a lot of potential in most of them, and all of them really, but they just don't care. It's not really not good, not good. All right, well, I think this video's gone on long enough. Thanks for watching.